right now? What needs to get better to make that a little bit more consistent up front?
I think they're doing a great job of run blocking right now. We got to work on our pass pro, but I think when you shuffle them in and out, you got to get your best 5 on the field. But right now, I think it's not where we want them at, but they're getting better every day in practice with Donnie. Donnie's doing a really good job of getting them out there, so they're getting better doing it. And as coaches, we got to make sure we're helping them with the scheme.
What do you do at right tackle this week with Hunter Anthony and Bryce Benhart? You rotate those guys, or what's your plan with those guys this week?
Yeah, they were 49 and 44 snaps, so they split it. They split it, so we're gonna rotate them again.
How did Hunter do? Kind of get his first major playing.
I thought Hunter played okay. I didn't think he played great, but I thought he played okay. He held his own game. It's gonna be some mental errors. It's gonna be some physical errors. That's gonna happen. Now it's about getting the kid to overcome it and get to the next play. So the big thing, if you do make a bad play, get to the next play. Don't let that one play beat you twice. But I think those two kids together, that they can give us a solid right tackle performance on Saturday.
Mickey, did you get a chance? You had mentioned you were going to want to see the tape yet.
Well, we're waiting on it. We're waiting on the Big Ten right now. We're waiting on the Big Ten right now to before I comment on it, because I don't want to say how I feel, and then the Big Ten say something, so I don't want to, get some bad enemies because I said something I had no business saying. So I'm not going to comment it on right now until I let them comment first.
What and the so-called preseason favorite is winless and just let go of their coach?
Well, I think it's football that you don't know what's going to happen. I think everything in athletics is, day to day, and then on games is, week to week. But it's the Wild West right now. Everybody's fighting, but if you look at the games are coming down to the fourth quarter. It's really tough games. It's coming down to the fourth quarter, so we're going to take one game at a time. We got Rutgers and Wild right now.
Have gone through and where you want to get to this year. The fact that the division seems to be pretty much up in the air, is that a favorable thing for you given the situation that you guys are in right now?
I think it works in everybody's favor right now, just because it's kind of balanced right now. So I think it works in everybody's favor. But like you said, we're going to take one game at a time, and just that's all you can do right now is just worry about. But I'm sure everybody knows. But it's nothing you can control right now. You just can control what you're going to do against Rutgers.
Hey, Mickey, did you notice a different pep in the step after a win? Guys worked so hard and they were finally rewarded with a conference win.
Well, that was the big emotional part for me, was just seeing their faces after the game, because they've been in so many close games that they hadn't closed out. So just the moment in the locker room, seeing the relief on their face, like, okay, we know we can do it. You can always tell somebody, oh, I know you can do it, but if they never do it, then they're going to have doubts. But they didn't have any doubts in the full quarter. We asked them to finish in the full quarter. We asked them to strain to finish, and they did in the next 2 weeks.
In your mind, what was the? Why were you able to force 8 3 and outs, all that?
Well, Sip, we talked about it last week. We said what we want to do: get them lined up, That's the big thing on defense. Just get them lined up. My brother Vance yesterday, he got his team to line up. When you can get them to line up, now they can recognize what's going on and recognize formation. That's the big key, recognizing what's going on, but you got to recognize the formation. So I thought they lined up, then they played with their hair on fire.
Mickey, in the first few weeks here, improvement.
That they're trying to be physical.
Mickey, what have you made of Malcolm Hartzog's progress over the last couple of weeks, being Big Ten Freshman of the Week today?
That's a great honor for Malcolm, but we do everything around here with the team. So Malcolm, he couldn't pick that funnel up unless CK blocked it. CK wouldn't have blocked that. It was a team thing, but we're happy for Malcolm, and we knew Malcolm was going to be a good You know, we just had to bring him along. But he's a good player. He's a good young player.
Nick, did you see a difference in Ty Robinson at all Saturday? Just the motor that he was playing with. It seems like people have been waiting for some of those kind of splash plays for a while from him.
Well, yes. I asked him to cut loose. I said, okay, start cutting loose. And I thought he played free, and I thought play is to cut loose and play with some fire. He can't play calm. He's got to be ready, charged up, ready to go, and he did that Saturday. And I'm proud of him for that.
How about Isaac Gifford? He played a lot of snaps out there. What did you see from him?
Well, Gift's a solid player. Gift's a solid player. Gift understands the scheme. Gift plays fast because he understands where the ball's going before it snaps. And Gift's got a lot of heart. Gift's going to tackle you. He's going to cover you, but he's going to play his heart out. He plays hard every snap. But he's a smart football player. He's a smart football player, and he understands what's going on before the ball.
Department put out that video of post-game locker room with Trev and with Trev giving you the game ball and so forth, and saying that this one was for you. I guess what did that mean to you?
Well, I was happy. Like I said, I was happy for the kids and the coaches. You know, I was happy for the kids and the coaches, and I'm always going to be happy for them before me, because I understand that without those guys, it was a great accomplishment for the entire athletic department, the entire university, the entire state. So it felt good that we was able to get the win, and people can wake up Sunday morning, go to church, and have something to talk about.
Thank you. With Friday being the first kind of true road game this season for your team, what kind of response are you hoping to see out of them in a different environment?
Well, I don't think the size of that field going to change. You know, we just got to jump a couple of states, but we still expect them to come out for a hostile. But we expect them to come there and be a physical football team. We always say the most physical team's going to win the game. So we expect them to get ready this week and get ready to go on the road and play Rutgers.
How did you feel like you and Whipple managed the clock offensively and maybe slowing down the pace?
I thought we did a really good job because we have, you know, Whipple's been doing it for a long time, you know, so he kind of runs with it sometimes. You know, sometimes I'm thinking it, but he's already thought about it already. So Whipples does a really good job of, you know, running the clock sometimes, and most of the time he's going to tell me, no, this is what we need to do.
You said on your show last night that you wanted to run out the clock in the second quarter a little bit differently or better. Would you like to run on that second down instead of a pass?
Well, like I said, I wanted to run. We shouldn't have given the ball back. That's on me. We should have 14. We gave it back to them. They came down and did a little pick play, and you know they got in the end zone. But you know, we should have ran the ball and ran the clock out.
There's a fine line, right, between pick plays and just really well executed throws. But how do you talk to your receivers about that? Because I mean, you want to try to run plays or kind of rub routes, but that one seemed pretty more egregious.
Wilson had a pretty solid game. I mean, just another example of a leader kind of stepping up. How important is he to the group?
G's a big part. He's our emotional leader. When he speaks volume. So we love Gary. We knew Garrett always comes out and play hard, and he's really more. Now I got to get him to get lined up after he gets a sack because he wants to run around and do his little dance. But I got to get him lined up and get him back because I was screaming, go back and get lined up because they were tempoing us. But you know what? It wouldn't trade that kid. I'm happy to have that kid. That kid's been a day when he works hard. He comes to practice every day. The kids follow him, so it's good to have, you know, Gary Nelson's on the team like that.
Anthony's averaged 120 rushing yards per game. Has anything about him surprised you even since camp to where he's at and what he's done?
No. We thought he was probably the best back in the country coming out of JUCO. So nothing surprises us. No, because it's been back, but no, nothing surprises us by Anthony. He just was a little sore today, so he didn't understand that he had to go get treatment. He didn't know why, you know, but we let him know why he needs to get treatment. But no, there's nothing surprising about that kid. That kid's going to do what he has to do for us to win games.
Is that going to maybe have to be how it has to be to have him carry it 20? He had 32, I think, on Saturday, but is he going to have to be in that 20-some range with carries? Or
I wish I can tell you that, but I can't, because we got to do what we got to do to win the game. So I wish I can tell you that he's going to carry it 30, 35 times. Do what we have to do to win the game. If it takes he going to carry it 10 times and we got to throw it 60, then that's what we got to do. It depends on what's going on with the game. And this week we felt like we had to feed him because he was getting tough yards. He's tough yards.
What's it say about him that he had already had 30 carries by the time he's the lead blocker on Casey's touchdown? Say about him as a player.
About being physical on both sides of the ball. That was what play 80. Yeah, that was snap 80, and you didn't see. I said it was a team thing. You seen Brewington come across and he knocked this guy right. He knocked this guy off, and then Anthony let up in case he was able to walk in the end zone. But it just shows you that they trying to be physical. Don't worry if it's play 1 to play 80 that we're going to stick our face in the fan.
You mentioned that we might see Chuba. How did he bounce back from that series that he had, which obviously didn't go the way that he wanted?
He sit and move on, like it's what I said earlier. We got to learn to move to the next play. You couldn't let that play beat us twice. So he was ready to go back into the game if he needed to. He understood what happened. He held the ball. You got to put the ball away. You're going to take the sack, take the safety, and don't give him a touchdown. But he understood that. That's giving him game reps. He needs game reps.
Charge, feel any different? Do you feel more comfortable in game 2?
Like I said before, it slowed down a little bit. Slowed down more. The referee knew my name this time, so that was pretty cool. And I knew his name, so it still didn't help. I still got a lot of flags, but it was slowed down a little bit. Slow down a little bit, and it was just coaching the kids the same way, coaching them and staying in.
What do you see on film about Rutgers' defense and also its offense?
Rutgers had a really tough defense, really good against the run. I think they're only giving up 292 yards, something like that a game. But it's a shame. I mean, he's going to build his thing on tough. And if you know the one thing about him, he's going to have tough football teams. So it's going to be a battle.
What is the
Just trying to get the bodies back and trying to get the mental work up. So you got to try to get the bodies back, and you got to try to get the mental work up because everything's accelerated.
Coach, you said that the reason why you put Chuba in is because you wanted to have Casey kind of see things from the sideline. How do you think that affected him from the next drives on when he went back on the field?
Casey?
Yeah.
No, Casey was okay. Casey was okay with that. He came in yesterday, and we sat down. One thing the kids can do with me, we can talk. He let me know, like, I didn't want that. But then I explained to him why we did it, because I'm always going to explain to him why, because it's a why generation. So he wants to know why. So I told him why, and he said, well, I don't want to do that again. I said, well, I don't want to do it either, but if I have to, I will, because I'm going to be consistent with him. I'm not going to be wishy-washy with him. I'm going to be consistent with him what I'm saying. He's no different than anybody else. If we think he's struggling, he's coming out. That's anybody. That's the way you got to run your football team. But he expressed how he felt, and I appreciated that. But at the end of the day, he understands who's the coach.
No, any black shirts after that one?
No.
There are a lot of recruits in town this weekend. What kind of hope can you get from them seeing an atmosphere?
Some of the family stay late as 11:15, 11:30. So I thought it was a great atmosphere. I thought all the commitments were solid. So I thought it was a great night for them to see us play.
What did you think of the light show?
The light show. Oh, the 4-quarter light show. Oh yeah, it's nice. I mean, I was trying to do about the light show. I mean, yeah, it was nice. I think it's nice. I think I got other things on my mind than that like that. talent show, you know.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you. That was a good